What's up guys, it's QC Grub with another video. Today I'm trying something different. I am using this software called gamemaker. Well, there, it's right there. Stop that. It's right there, gamemaker. It's 8.0. It's the light version because, I mean, it's really good for what I'm doing with it, and I don't really need the pro version. And I mean, if there's anything that I like, there's nothing that I would need the pro version for. But today we are making a game. This is only part 1 of a multi-part series. The game is going to be a lot like the original Legend of Zelda. As in, like, you start out in a, well, you just start out in a blank area and you travel around and you'll see by the end. But so I think we're just gonna get started now. I don't really have any goals set for this for part 1, but hopefully once we get later on I'll have some goals. So first I'm just gonna make some sprites. They're just gonna be basic ones so that I can just start making the game. I'll probably get some better sprites later. Alright, so this is going to be player. Rename sprite underscore player. Hit OK, and we are going to have another sprite that we are just going to make right now, and it's going to be enemy. So, enemy. This sprite will be edit, add empty. This will be blue to contrast, and I know green is the other color, but, or the color that contrasts red, but sue me. I'm going to use blue. And then for these two, I'm going to make objects, so underscore player, and then add the player sprite, and then I'm going to make my object enemy. So that underscore enemy and put that on it. Okay, so now we're just gonna get the room created real quick. Alright, so if we do this, so we're just gonna plop the player in background. Color will just be like a green for now. Nope, not a green. Is that good? How about no color? White. Let's just go with no background. Wait, I just don't have to, no. Alright, there. It shouldn't be on color. There should just be no color there. Sweet. Alright. So now we're going to set up the view real quick. So, well, actually we'll do that later. Alright, now we're just gonna get some simple collision, if I can open this up. We're just gonna get some basic movement and collision. So, nope, letters. I like using WASD for movement. It's just a lot better for me. I love gaming, so I'm very used to the WASD format. So I'm gonna be using that. And S. And then we need a D. Alright, so for the people watching this that are trying to learn, like, the basics, so, if we go into add event, so events are basically, like, something that happens. So a keyboard, that's basically, like, if I were to press the W key, I didn't mean to do that. If you were to press the W key, then something would happen, which you can put in the actions tab. But if you, so that means you can also hold down W and it will continually do that action. And then key press and key release only happens when you first press the key or when you first release the key. So, for all the people, that's something to explain. So, alright, so this is the direction that you would move and the speed at which you would move when you press A. And this is D. There we go. So that's obviously right. And this would be down. 4 and go. And then 4 and up. And then you also want to add something called a no key. In this slot, your character won't slide, and I can show you what I mean by that. So, so I'm actually going to delete this, and then I'm going to go and I'm just going to run an executable to show you what I mean by no key. Alright, so we load this up. Now that we have the no key deleted and not our A key, so what happens is when you press something, it just continually moves in that direction. And I still don't have an A key. What the heck? Advent letters A. There we go. So that is why you want a no key, so that your thing isn't sliding around like that. Unless you want that. But I mean, like, in most games where you have something moving, you usually don't want it. But I mean, then again, I've only made like 7 or 8 games. Alright, so then we're going to make a collision with enemy. And this will destroy our object player. And so we can apply it to us. And then we also want the enemy to be destroyed for what I want to do. So object enemy. And then we want it to display a message saying you died. That's it. And then after that, you want it to display your scoreboard. So there we go. Show high score table. What font do we want? Bold, italic, and trebuchet. There we go. I have no idea. Alright, and then once the person exits out of the high score table, it will restart the game. And just for testing purposes, I'm not going to do that because you can run in debug mode. Never mind. Alright, and so now that we have that situated, now we are going to go into object enemy. So, other, game start. So this enemy can move in any direction it wants. So basically, from my understanding, the enemy will just pick a direction and move that way. But I'm not entirely sure. We want the enemy to be a bit faster so that we can't just run in the same direction and outrun it. And so then also, so we have that, and for now, our purposes, that's fine. So now we can put in object enemy. Oh, we also need, so let's just create some more sprites. We need wall vertical, and we can make this real quick. So add empty, transform, resize canvas. Don't want to keep the aspect ratio, and then 500%. I'm stupid. I said wall vertical. There we go. And then we will make this yellow. And so you just want to take your bucket tool and you do that. Alright. And then that's fine. And now we need another sprite, which will be our wall horizontal. So then we go into here, and this will be our 500. So you take this, you get your yellow that you've already selected from the previous time, you bucket that, and then don't forget to name it, because it just helps with organization. Alright, so now that we have those things, we also want to make objects for them so that we can do a very helpful thing for our testing purposes that are of now. So we want to make this solid, and then create another object, wall V, and then this will have V. And we also want this to be solid. And then we can go into, nope, didn't want to do that, delete that. Yes. You want to go into object enemy, you go into collision, object wall H, and you want to do bounce. And not precisely, well, actually do what you want. And then you also want to copy this for wall V as well. So now we can make some walls. So you just do that and you drag it, and it's really helpful. Actually, I'm going to do these and then, alright, I'll see you guys when I finish this. Alright, now we have it. So now we have our game. Oh, yeah, I'm knocking around everything. Alright, so now we have our thing, and so I have the border, which is the walls, and so the character seems to just be bouncing, which is weird, but I mean, I will probably have to find some way to fix that. But see, we collided with it, and it's not precise, but we collided with it, and so a message pops up, you died, you click it, and then you get a high score table. And I don't have a point system yet, but we will add that later. Now they are bouncing in a different way, so now I've gained some new knowledge. They just pick a direction at the beginning, and that's the direction they go. Alright, so I collided with it, I died, and now it's going that way. So, alright, great. So now, when you're playing Legend of Zelda, or a game similar to it, you can't see the whole map, and then your character is just a little dot that you move. You only see a certain amount, and that's where this View tab comes in. And if you want to see all of this stuff, make sure you go to File and you're in Advanced mode, so you can have all this stuff. So, we want to enable the use of views, and visible when room starts, and basically the view tells you how much of the screen you can see, and you can set it to move when you move your character. So I only want to see a fourth of the screen at a time, so I just divide both numbers by 2. So 320 and 240. And I just realized that in the original Legend of Zelda, you actually see one room at a time, so this is going to be different, but I mean, we aren't making the game, so it's fine. And when you're playing a game like that, you don't want the screen to scroll when you touch the border of it, or else you won't be able to see what's ahead of you. You want the screen to scroll like kind of like, it's like if you had a flashlight pointed on like a dot. You wouldn't want to wait for the dot to get to the edge for you to move your flashlight. You like follow the dot and want to keep it in the middle. And so that's kind of what we're doing. So we want to just change this to a good number, like 64. And so now when we load this up, it obviously has to save the executable. But when we load it up, you will see that you can only see a little bit, and it may not look like it, but I am moving. And it's just because we don't have like a different background to make it so you can see. Oh! And so I've noticed that he's just bouncing up and down. But as you can tell, we are moving, and the screen is moving with us, even if it's pretty hard to see. And see, that's the gap we have before it starts moving the screen, and we don't want that small of a gap, so we're going to change that to 128. And if you're making a game as you watch this, just know that you don't have to do the same numbers as me. I'm just doing what I'm comfortable with and what I think would work. But for your purposes, you could do something completely different. So now that's the gap we have. That is the gap, which means we only have a small area in which we can move before the screen starts moving. So we can tweak that later, but for now, I mean, this is, like, what type of game is this? So I'm going to disable the view for now. So what we want to do is, alright, what we're going to make next is we are going to make the enemy, we're going to fix this moving. So I wonder what would happen if I tried it freely. So direction 0, I don't know, and a speed of 8. So we're going to delete this and run in debug mode just so I can restart a lot to see what happens when we just say it can move freely in this direction, which is right. That's 0 degrees. Where's the game? It's not moving. Now what if we restart it? Nope, okay. Well then, that is not going to work. Alright, so what can we do? We could have it follow a path. Paths. I have actually never done this, so this is going to be learning for both of us. So you can, oh, that's so cool. Precision, how about a 1? Smooth curve. Alright, close, no, open. And then I'd want it to go up here, and then could it, like, can I have it finish? Alright, you know, yeah, I love the path. Just love it. Alright. So, hopefully, this will work. But I'm not entirely sure. End path, path speed, path position. Alright. Follow path, path 0, speed, at a speed of, let's just go 1. At end, reverse. Relative, absolute. Now, do I need to place a path on, or am I fine? I think I'm fine, so let's check this out and see if it works. This is going to be the last thing, so this is pretty much the end of the video. Let's see if it works. It is following the path I set. So it's going down, and then, yeah, I had a dip, and then, yeah. This makes me think a lot of, what's the game? Mega Man. Or, sorry, Rockman, the first game, when, like, the orange balls would just fly in and shoot pellets all around them. Oh, that was so cool. Alright, it looks like it's reversed, so that's good. Alright, so we got a path working. I'm gonna fix it a bit and tweak it in the next episode. But other than that, we're done. Bye. See you in episode 2.